we shall going to discuss with reference to the three important events involved in the sexual reproduction. Just for the study convenience, the events of sexual reproduction are divided into three important types, namely pre-fertilization events, second one is fertilization, the last important one is called post-fertilization event. In the last class, we have discussed with reference to the main important events involved in the pre-fertilization events. Today, we shall going to discuss the remaining two aspects in the sexual reproduction, namely fertilization, and the last important event is called post-fertilization event. The first important event is said to be the fertilization. Fertilization is a process of fusion of haploid male gamete with female gamete to produce diploid zygote is called fertilization. It is also designated as syngamy. Based on the location of syngamy, the fertilization is classified into two types, namely external fertilization and the second one is called internal fertilization. The classification is purely based on the location of syngamy. Based on the location of the fertilization is divided into two types, namely external fertilization and the second one is called internal fertilization. The first important one is called external fertilization. The fertilization occurs outside. The name itself indicates that it is a type of external, refers to the fertilization occurs outside the body of the parents in water media is called external fertilization. Naturally, you can find the presence of external fertilization in case of algae, fishes, and also in case of amphibians, you can find the presence of external fertilization. The second important one is called internal fertilization. The name itself indicates the fertilization takes place inside the female body. In case of internal fertilization, the fusion of haploid male and female gametes takes place inside the female body, that is within the female genital tract. Within the female genital tract is called internal fertilization. Naturally, you can find the presence of internal fertilization in case of cartilaginous fishes, in case of reptiles, in case of birds and in case of mammals, and also in case of fungi, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and also in case of angiosperms, you can find the presence of internal fertilization. In case of animals, the motile male gamete reaches the egg in accessory reproductive structures in order to favor internal fertilization. In case of animals, the motile male gametes reach the egg in accessory reproductive structures in order to favor internal fertilization. What about in case of plants means? In case of flowering plants, the non-motile male gametes are carried to egg with the formation of a long pollen tube. With the formation of long pollen tube, the male gametes reaches the egg in order to favor internal fertilization. The last important aspect in this sexual reproduction is called post-fertilization events. This event in the sexual reproduction after the formation of zygote are called post-fertilization event. The events in the sexual reproduction after the formation of zygote are called post-fertilization event. The zygote is a vital link between the two successive generations. The zygote is the vital link between the two successive generations. Just for the study convenience, the events in the post-fertilization events are normally summarized in two aspects, namely the growth of the zygote differs in different individuals, and the second aspect is called embryogenesis. With reference to the growth of the zygote differs in different individuals, especially in case of algae and in case of fungi. The zygote develops a thick wall which is resistant to desiccation, and it will provide protection even against the natural and artificial means of damage. It undergoes a period of rest. Soon after the approach of the favorable condition, they exhibit the phenomenon of germination in case of algae and also in case of fungi. In other organisms, especially in case of volvox and in case of Spirogyra, you can find the presence of haplantic life cycle. In case of haplantic life cycle, the diploid zygote divides meiotically to produce haploid spores. The diploid zygote divides meiotically to produce haploid spores which grow into haploid individuals. Such a unique type of haplantic life cycle is seen in case of volvox and also in case of Spirogyra. Both are aquatic algae. In some other organisms, namely the gymnosperms and in the angiosperms, you can find the presence of diplontic life cycle. In case of diplontic life cycle, the diploid zygote directly develop into a diploid individual. Such a unique characteristic feature is seen in case of gymnosperms and also in case of angiosperms. The second important event in the post-fertilization event is called embryogenesis. It is the name itself indicates that embryogenesis refers to the development of the embryo. In invalid terminology, the embryogenesis is defined as the process of formation of embryo from the zygote is called embryogenesis. During this phase, the zygote divides mitotically to produce a mass of cells which on differentiation form specialized tissues and organs to form an organism. Such a unique fundamental events are seen during the course of embryogenesis. based on the nature of the embryogenesis is taken into consideration in order to categorize the animals into two important types, namely oviparous animals, and the second one is called viviparous animals, based on the place of development of embryo. Based on the place of development of embryo. The first important one is called oviparous animals. These are the animals which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. The development of the embryo takes place inside the egg. Here, the development of the embryo takes place inside the egg. You can find the presence of oviparous condition in case of fishes, amphibians, reptiles, in case of arthropods, and also in case of birds, you can find the presence of oviparous condition. The second one is called viviparous animals. These are the animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. These are the animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. Here, the development of the young embryo takes place inside the womb of the mother and derives nutrition and nourishment through placenta. Through the placenta, it exhibits organic connection between the mother and the developing young one. Young ones are delivered by the mother. The young ones are delivered by the mother. You can find the presence of viviparous condition in majority of the mammals, including human being. Exceptionally, you can find the presence of egg-laying capacity in the mammals, namely in the platypus and echidna. They are purely egg-laying mammals. Platypus and echidna are called egg-laying mammals. There are exceptions. With reference to embryogenesis in case of flowering plants, the post-fertilization events in the flowering plants, it mainly includes series of developmental stages. Some of the important post-fertilization events naturally seen in the flowering plants are namely the zygote develops into embryo. Secondly, the primary endosperm cell, popularly called PAD, develops into endospore. Endospore, it will provide nourishment to the developing embryo. Ovules develops into seeds. Ovary into fruit with a thick fruit wall called pericarp. The ripened ovary with pericarp and seeds is called fruit. The ripened ovary with pericarp and seeds is called fruit. Soon after the fertilization, the sepals, petals and stamens will fall off. In addition to this, the antipodals and synergids will automatically disappear. Antipodals and synergids will disappear. The seeds, after dispersal, they germinate into new plant under favorable conditions. In some of the plants like Withania somnifera, popularly called ashwagandhi, in case of Solanum niger, in case of Solanum tuberosum, and also in case of Solanum melangina, popularly called brinjal, and also in the Capsicum annum or in the Capsicum frutans, commonly called chili and bell pepper, and also in case of pea, Pisum sativa. The sepals remain attached to the fruit. In case of brinjal, even after the fruit formation, you can find the presence of green colored sepals. That will indicate the presence of persistent calyx in case of Solanacea members and also in case of Pisum sativa. In case of Pisum sativa. The last important event in the embryogenesis is called parthenogenesis. It is also designated as virgin birth. It is also designated as virgin birth. In invalid terminology, the parthenogenesis is defined as the process of development of unfertilized egg. The process of development of unfertilized egg into an individual without fertilization is called parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis was first discovered in animals by Charles Bonnet in the year 1745. The term parthenogenesis was coined by Richard Owen. It also occurs in case of rotifers, arthropods, in case of crustaceans. All the drones or the male honeybees are the product of parthenogenesis. And also in case of molluscs, lizards, and also in case of certain birds, you can find the presence of parthenogenesis. Finally, in this chapter, you are having the importance of reproduction. The first important salient feature of the reproduction is essential life process to continue the races, to continue the progeny. We need the essentiality of reproduction. The young ones replace the old ones by dying once by the process of reproduction. It is subjected to continuation. It helps to increase the population of the species. It also acts as vehicle of organic evolution. By transmitting advantageous variations to the offsprings. By transferring advantageous variations to the offsprings, it induces variation. As a result of variation, it leads to speciation. In creating spectacular beauty in the nature. This is with reference to the main important features of reproduction. Thank you. This will comes to the end of the first chapter called Reproduction in Organisms. Thank you.